Hi everyone, welcome to Bonnie Carolee Makes Cards. I have another card featuring the STAMPtember exclusive Happy Birthday brush script. This two-piece die set is used in conjunction with a couple of other previously released products by Simon Says Stamp, Party Like a Panda and the round stencil. I began by die cutting one side of a card base with the balloon die. I put a bit of washi tape on my card so I could clearly see the crease. The top of the die overlapped the crease, but the cutting plate itself fell short of it. This left a good section of cardstock intact at the fold so that it was sturdy. I fell a bit short with the die cut meeting the fold line. I was able to easily follow that line up to the crease and then trim it off. The card base was opened up and laid flat, a bit of Post-it note tape used to protect the back panel as I prepared for ink blending. I used Distress Oxide inks, shaded lilac, picked raspberry, and spun sugar for the balloon. I didn't spend as much time as I normally would blending, as I knew I would be stenciling this panel. Sorry about the light show. I was working in my craft room first thing in the morning. The sunshine was streaming through the blinds on my window, casting shadows on my work surface, and there I was working oblivious to it all. I tend to be quite focused when I'm working on a project, and so this is not an abnormal state of affairs for me. With the balloon complete, the card was opened up, some Post-it tape put across to protect the balloon while I ink blended the inside of the flap. I worked with Distress Oxide ink chipped sapphire. The ink was applied several times until I had achieved a nice even tone across the panel. Throughout the blending, I was constantly wiping down my media mat, trying to avoid getting ink on unwanted places. The stencil was prepared with Pixie Spray, a low-tack adhesive to hold it in place. Using my finger, Cosmic Shimmer Opal Blaze Polish was applied across the balloon panel. I really like the iridescent quality of this product, and I have been using it in a few projects. While the glazed stencil panel was drying, I began working on some of the cute little elements for this card. Using Simon Says Stamp's Intense Black ink, I stamped a panda and 3 little presents from the stamp set Party Like a Panda. The images were Copic colored. For the presents, I used combinations of BV 13 and 17, R 81 and 83, and RV 52 and 55. Because the images are small, I only used a light and a dark tone for each section that was colored. This made for a very quick and easy coloring. The same colors were used to do the icing, the candles, and the platter. The cake was colored with E42 and 44 and a little bit of shading on the panda with W2. The clean outline shapes of the images made them very easy to fussy cut right on the line. Next, I used the shadow die from the Happy Birthday brush script die set to cut an opening on the balloon panel. The scripty Happy Birthday was then cut from the shadow die cut. The sentiment was dotted with Tombow glue and left to dry completely. Because the die cut would be inset onto the dark blue panel, I didn't want to take any chance of the glue smearing. Any glue residue on such a dark panel would leave a shiny appearance and be very visible. While the sentiment was drying, I positioned the panda and the 3 presents on the card. The presents were adhered with white glue. The panda was popped up with foam squares. I used a Sakura Jelly Roll pen to make the flames of the candles shiny. Using a pin and black Nuvo drops, I was able to put in small dots of black for the pupils of the panda's eyes. The dried Tombow glue is tacky. This gives me the time and flexibility to get my sentiment exactly where I want it to be, without the chance of any glue residue going where I don't want it. I used the outside edge of the die cut so that I could make sure that the sentiment was positioned exactly where it should be. And that completes this fun shaped birthday card featuring a STAMPtember exclusive by Simon Says Stamps Happy Birthday brush script. As always, I appreciate your visit.